to
Right.
this. And let me hit record. Looks like we are. All right, we are there. Hey, here we are, Tuesday. Welcome. It is March. It's crazy to believe we're in March. Welcome. I am very, very excited. As you know, I've come on here before to share with you some of the success from our students. And today I'm really excited to share with you Kathy and introduce you to Kathy and have her tell you just a little bit of her experience so far. And oh man, I'm really excited. We've been, the new year is new goals, and Kathy came in right before the end of the year. And man, what a way to start, right in the middle of smack dab in the middle of the holidays. And in any event, she jumped the fence and said, hey, it's time to make some changes. And I'm really, really excited to introduce you. Kathy, who's here local here in Jacksonville. So I know some of you are local, some of you also are out of town. And regardless, first off, why do I share these types of interviews? I just want you to know, as a coach, what gets me excited. And I hope it's exciting for you, is to know that it's possible, regardless of where you're at in your walk with your health and your fitness. And maybe you've been struggling for a while. Maybe it's been okay, and maybe you fell off track. Maybe it was the lockdowns and COVID that caused you to fall off track. Maybe you've been off track for a number of years. But regardless, one of the things that I get excited about is that it doesn't matter where you're at. It just matters where you're going next. And the good news is you can improve at any age and at any level, whether you have no experience, you have some experience, maybe your body's broken, maybe you don't know what to do next. And I just want you to be inspired by stories like Kathy. And I want you to know that, I can sit up here and talk about like my success. Oh yeah, I get people results. But what better than to just bring you actually the students who are on my programs now. Now, just so you guys know, if you're new here to the Bulletproof Fit Christians over 40 group, this is a free group. It'll always be, at least for now, as far as I know, you're in here, it's a free group, and it won't change. But I do have an inner circle, and my inner circle is a actual premium coaching program. You have one-on-one access to me and my team and our inner circle. And just so you know, that's what we're talking about here. So without further ado, Kathy, welcome. Welcome to, we're not really calling it a show, just welcome. Thank you for coming on and joining us today. Awesome. So let's get started here. What was it? I always like to start with this question. What was it that first made you get connected to me and reach out? What was it, the first kind of step?
Well, first I was asked to go ahead and join this group, and so I started watching it. And one of my best friends told me about her daughter-in-law joined up with you. I can mention her name, Ginger Blackman, and she just looks wonderful. And she just basically had a baby. I mean, it hadn't been that long. I think her baby's not even a year old yet. And she just was telling me how wonderful she felt, and she lost 30 pounds. And I said, I can do that, but I knew I couldn't do it alone because I have tried so many things. I'm 63. I'm not ashamed to say that because I praise God that I've made it this long.
Amen. Amen.
And yeah, and I'm going to tell everyone, I spent $8,000 at Metabolic Research Center within a year and a half. And I only lost 20 pounds because I was trying to do it by myself. I didn't depend on God at all. And I gained it all back. As soon as I had an accident in July of 2020, and I fell down some steps, 14 of them. And at that point, I thought, I said, I'll never come back. So then in December, I said, okay, I am not going to gain any more weight. I'm going to call Mark. I'm going to get hooked up because I'm going to start this so I don't gain any more weight through Christmas.
Awesome. Yeah. And that backstory, thank you for sharing that with me. And regardless, whether it be metabolic or any of those kinds of things, I've heard that story about $1 for every time I heard that story. I might not have to be a coach anymore because I've heard it so many times, just the struggle, the early success. And then as soon as you stop, and then either whatever reason, it just goes away, or the results go away, and there's no habits built, there's no changes made, and life goes back to where you were before you started any kind of diet, so to speak. But let me ask you this, because this is really, I think, a pertinent question. Was I'm sure you're probably a little bit skeptical. Obviously, you heard about the results from a friend of yours, but was there anything that you felt skeptical about because you had spent money in the past on a program?
Well, yes, I was skeptical about doing it online. I thought, oh my goodness, am I going to get any encouragement, inspiration? And oh my, all I have to do is turn on my phone, and there you are giving some inspiration, encouragement. Um, I can contact you at any time. And that's important to me because I cannot do this alone. I mean, the Lord, I can, I have faith that I can do this, but I'm sorry, you still need somebody to kind of push you along, to light a little fire. And that's what you do, Mark. You encourage and you inspire me and tell me not to give up, because I used to just beat myself up when I failed. If I had a bad day, and I did this past week, and lo and behold, I didn't beat myself up. I said, okay, move on to tomorrow. I'm going to keep on keeping on. And I've already lost a pound this week of the
Awesome.
2 pounds I gained. And I
Great.
plan on losing, and I'm going to try my best to lose 2 more. So it's
Yeah,
only Tuesday.
and you know what? So what we're smiling at that, and you're saying, well, she was off track. Why is she smiling? It's because she didn't go off the cliff. A lot of times when we don't have any guardrails set up, we tend to go off the road, so to speak, the path, or off the wagon, and you stay off the wagon. There's nobody to help you back on the wagon. And it doesn't mean, and one thing I always say is I'm not a babysitter for people. I'm actually just one to help with just keeping some guardrails in place. And how do we do that? Is over the last 3 months, we've built some habits. We start to develop some new routines. We start to put structure in your day. You have workouts. You shared with me, you just got done with one of your workouts, but that's already there. You're not confused at all as far as with what to do or how to do it. You know exactly what you need to do to get in the kind of shape you need. And there's clarity, right?
Yes.
That's what comes from having a guide, a mentor, whatever you want to call me, a coach. And that's exciting to me to see that you've made changes, and not so much that you're winning and losing weight and all this stuff, which is all good, but the fact that when you do, because we all mess up, like we're all flawed, we all have challenges and struggles, and we come up short some days and maybe some weeks, and maybe even for some people listening right now, it might have been the whole last year you've come up short, and you maybe felt like you've just failed yourself, and you did. Maybe you made some mistakes along the way, and mistakes are meant to be corrected. And it's hard though to correct when you don't have any help, right? That's really what it comes down to. So, okay, so here we are 3 months. As far as anything, was there anything skeptical though, really? Like, did you have any kind of second thoughts before getting started?
Yeah, like, the online thing, and I am technically challenged. So I I really struggled with that. My ex-husband said, this is going to come to haunt you when you don't get in there. So it has haunted me. So here I am trying to learn all this stuff, and I'm not too bad, but like today when I did my flex workout, I knew that I could make a choice and do a different workout, but I couldn't find it. So I did it on Thursday's day, and I'm like, this is so poorly. I'm messing up. So anyway, I will somehow straighten it out.
Yeah.
But it was the total online and doing things like that, because that's scary. That's scary for those that are not, that are like me, and in my age group, and it's just something that I was afraid that I wouldn't stick to, and this is the first time I've got support. I'm sticking to it. I want this badly, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and you've been showing up. Yeah, like one of the things that I've been enjoying working with you is that you've been showing up. Now, even if it's not perfect, and even if you're not too sure on something that technical, like how to switch this or that, you have access to get the help you need, right? Like at the end of the day, it comes to, you don't have to figure it out on your own, right? And we were just talking about that earlier. And fortunately, that it's not just me, because I'm not even the most tech. You'd think I am because of all the lives and videos, but I have people that help me. That's why I believe in coaching. I have coaches that help me do this, because up until the last 3 years, I was doing all this in person with people. I met in gyms. I owned a gym for a while where I was face to face. So this was very much new to me as well. So how did I get over that? I learned, I grew. And it's kind of how we get over also like our challenges and struggles with things like our weight loss and things like getting in better shape, and how do I get on a healthier path. So let's touch base on that, because people want to know what are some of the benefits you felt over the last 3 months, if we want to get to kind of the results, things that you've been feeling. And I know everybody wants to know like weight on the scale, which you've been losing weight, but I know there's a lot of other wins that you've been having since starting. Do you care sharing about some of those?
Yeah. Well, one thing, tracking my food and tracking my water and actually doing the exercises. I mean, sometimes you don't have to just exercise one time a day. I mean, after dinner, sometimes I go out and walk the neighborhood. And that not only makes me feel good that I've gone, gotten out, I feel like I'm doing my body good, doing well for myself. And I think that's really important. Let's see, tracking is so important for people like me. I need to know what I'm putting in my mouth. You have this little chart thingy that I fill out, and I don't fill out all the little circles every day because I just don't eat that much. But I know that if I do, my metabolism is in keeping it's going,
Right.
So, but there are days when I can eat all of the vegetables and all of the protein, but there's days that I don't, and it's hard for me to eat breakfast. Really hard for me to eat breakfast. That's just something I have not ever done. And so now I'm making myself eat breakfast. I had about a cup of spinach and an egg today.
Great.
That's all I've had today. So I'm going to be doing lunch here soon. But yeah, I know that the exercise, I have to do both, and we all have to do both. We can't just eat and think that we're going to lose weight and become healthy. You have to exercise, and especially at my age, I have to exercise because I have arthritis, and that makes I don't feel the arthritis when I eat well and exercise. And that's what this is all about. Me being healthy again, as I can be.
That's awesome that you made that connection. And I do. There's one thing for me to say, hey, the connection for most people that fail, it's because they do one of two. They're in one of two camps. They go the workout camp and they go and beat themselves up and work out and do all the high intense workouts. Even I had a gym that was like that. And they do all these things and they think, oh, I'm going to burn 1,000 calories. And then there's no really follow through with the rest of their day. In other words, their nutrition. Oh, well, I've earned it. I worked out. I did that spin class. I took that boot camp. I did, I ran my 5K. I can eat and drink whatever I want. That's usually one camp. And then the other camp is like the ones that diet. You mentioned about spending $8,000 on a diet plan and program. And there's a lot of them out there, right? So it's not just to knock one, there's tons of them. And there's tons of free ones and tons of expensive ones. And bottom line, for the most part, none of them really ever get in lines with the exercise part and component. And the reality is you're absolutely right. The two have to be sort of somewhat married together over time. It doesn't happen overnight. You and I both know that. We're on a journey for 3 months. I feel like we're just getting started. But the good news is you're getting consistent. And I think what I hear resonating from you, and I don't want to take this from you, but I feel like one of the things is, even if it hasn't been great, you've been fairly consistent for the last 3 months. And that's the difference between going off the rails, so to speak, when there's no rails there, going off the cliff, and having those rails and maybe, not being perfect, like you said the other day. So it isn't. Reality is I wish there was a perfect plan for everyone. The reality is there's a plan for progress. And that's even with my walk. And I think for Kathy, I've been excited to see her progress over the past 3 months. And it has been great progress. She's been checking in, showing up, following up. It hasn't been perfect, but she's getting great results. And that's been exciting. And I know it's still in the early stages, and I know we still have lots of time to work together. Let me ask you this with regards to your results. Who would you recommend? Because this is always like, I don't know, Mark, Kathy, maybe it just works for her, but I don't know if this will work for me. What type of person do you think this would work for?
Oh my goodness. Mark, there are so many people out there that have arthritis, that are my age, that are unhealthy, that really don't move. They don't get out and move. And anybody that wants to feel better, I just feel there is such a difference between when I eat poorly and then eat well and exercise. It's like night and day, like night and day. My knees, I'm going to have knee replacements one day. I've already had a back surgery. When I fell down the steps, I broke my elbow. I hurt my shoulders. So anybody that has a little weight on them, and I'm at least 50 pounds overweight. And but even if you're only 20 or 30 pounds, if you've struggled with your weight all of your life or most of your life, this is the best program, because I know that this works. I've seen people that have done it, the people online, the people in the group that I don't even know, but I feel like I know them because we connect. And I would just pray that those people, that anybody that wants to feel better and learn how to eat right and learn how to live. That's what it's all about. You've got to make good choices to feel good every day. Life is so short. And I don't have grandchildren yet, but I'm praying that they come this year. And I want to be able to roll on the floor and chase after them in the yard. And that's what my goal is. That's
awesome.
Is. So
that's your vision, right? Beyond the weight. Beyond the weight. Right. That's so awesome. Yeah, that's the one thing.
That's right.
I love hearing more is getting in touch with people's whys. Like, why do you want to do this? And that's why at any age. And we had somebody that's recently coming on. I work obviously this group for over 40. So the majority, or I would say all, are in their 50s. I have a few in their 40s, but for the most part, 50s and 60s and 70s. I have a few in their 70s. And I would say is you're not too old. It's not too late. And even if you felt like you failed before, or if you spent money before, or if you've gone down the wrong path before, if you're watching this, if you're checking this out, if you're in this group, you haven't given up. And I'm just going to encourage you not to give up. And maybe my program isn't necessarily the right fit for you, but if you're like, you know what, if Kathy can do it, like Kathy thought when she saw her friend who was doing it and getting great results, is the same thing, because we did an interview not too long ago with who Kathy saw, and that's what got Kathy in here. And that's why I want to share these, to show that it's not perfect, but it's progress. And when you have clarity and direction and accountability and support, and you have a family, so to speak, and a coach who knows what he's doing, is that you are destined to succeed. Like, this is something that can give you long-term success for those grandchildren, or for whatever reason you have, whatever your why is. So I just encourage you not to settle. I encourage you not to give up, not to think that even if you failed before that you are a failure. You're not. You just made some mistakes. And the good thing about mistakes is you can start to correct them, just as Kathy is. And it's great to have a conversation, talk about foam rollers and things like that. And then we're working on goals to move forward, and that's exciting. So I'll just share with you it's exciting. So I just want to say thank you, Kathy, for coming on here. Appreciate you sharing and just being open about, I always come on and say, just open up. There's no really agenda here other than to share your experience. I can't wait to do one in 3 months from now, when we start seeing more transformation and more progress. And it's been awesome to work with you. And I'll tell you what, if any of you are interested and you want to learn more, just shoot me a private message. You can do that just in Messenger here, and you can even drop one down below. I don't know where the down below is in the comments. If you want to reach out to me, you can even reach out to Kathy. I'm sure she'd be okay. I just put you on the spot, but you can reach out to her and ask if you know, or even if you don't, and just to say, hey, what's your experience like working with Mark? Give me the real scoop on working with Mark. But that's all I have. Anything last to say?
I just wanted to say one thing. One of your daily doses said, or just something through this. You said, what is a P word that, something about a P word. And many people put procrastination. Oh, that's a P word that would be a hack for your diet. Well, I put perfection, because that's a horrible hack, thinking that I can be perfect at anything that I do. And And it wasn't perfection. It wasn't procrastination. So I like the fact that you tell me you're not perfect and it's okay. And that was great because now, huh?
I think it was perseverance. Was it perseverance?
Yeah, perseverance is the right word. But when I put perfection, because none of us can be perfect, and you just said, you know, none of us are perfect, and it's perseverance, it's consistency, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep on keeping on. So I just wanted to share that. We don't have to be perfect. We just have to keep persevering.
Only one guy. There's only one person that's perfect. He's the one that created all of us.
Amen.
Amen.
That's right. That's
all right. Hey, thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mark.
And thank you so much, Kathy, for sharing your story. Really appreciate it. Can't wait to share with you or share with everybody else your success in the months to come. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Mark.
Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.